Great day everybody, my name is Major and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. So as promised, here is the next video after the experimental deck. This is the Scrap VERNUSYLPH. So this loss in this list of replay, this is against Tierlaments, but what's cool about this is it actually shows you how we can keep up against those kinds of modern opponents. But before that, maybe we can try watching one win first before we proceed with the Tierlaments. So let's start with the fourth one. I think this is against Eldlich. And I remember back in the day, everybody hated Eldlich for all the floodgates it had. So this Eldlich is kind of a nerf form right now, especially that a lot of the floodgates got banned. So let's watch this replay. So our starting hand, alright, so we can showcase the power of VERNUSYLPHs. Okay, so we're going first. We activate our Raptor and we will add Factory into our hand. Okay, since we have Chimera, we don't need to add that. And okay, so when will I use the VERNUSYLPHs? Actually, maybe I should have activated. Oh, no. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So you see, we had two VERNUSYLPHs. I thought that I could use the two of them, but unfortunately, VERNUSYLPH cards require another monster card to be sent into the graveyard, and so I chose to use the one with the sleeping bear, so that I could send Scrap Searcher into the graveyard and summon my Naturia Beast. So okay, in this variation of the deck, this does not have Exterio. This is meant to be a more flexible deck for going first and going second. And so here is the virtual world QB Shenshen that I've been telling all of you the previous replay. And so, okay, so Naturia Beast will exert its effect, will negate the cursed Eldland. And then we have Gozuki. Is this Gozuki? Yeah, it is Gozuki. I did not negate the effect of Gozuki because it will lower Appaloosa's attack power, and so we cannot use the other two negates. And so, you know, the Eldlich cards also are fond of using many spell cards in order to special summon. So Naturia Beast can answer to all of that. The only problem is if the opponent has trap cards, but you know, most of the Eldlich trap cards require Eldlich to be present on the field so that they can exert their second effect. But since our opponent, I don't think our opponent drew on an Eldlich, they failed to get an Eldlich with Eldland. Whatever those back row cards are, if they're Eldlich, they're kinda useless. Like that one, you see? And we just destroyed Plague Spreader Zombie. So a lot of those cards, you know, that we destroyed, they went into the graveyard. They did not. I mean, they got banished, and Eldritch cards don't like being banished. Similar to Tierlaments. So if there are Tierlament cards in the field that should go into the graveyard in order to fusion summon or activate certain effects, then instead of going to the graveyard, they actually get banished because of Virtual World QB Shenshen. So I think you also just have to be careful because Shenshen is a double-edged sword. That means your monsters also get banished instead of going into the graveyard. And so we've beaten the Eldlich deck. Let's proceed with Tierlaments. Okay, so here in this Tierlament replay, I actually believe that I could have won this if I did not if the opponent did not have that maxi. So you'll see how disastrous this game is. So I think I went second. Not good for our deck. Not that good for this deck. Normally, yeah, we'd really like to go first. And so the opponent was milling. But since I activated Maxi, I think they refrained from fusion summoning. So this is an okay hand. Yeah, we have two VERNUSYLPHs. We have Raptor. But then there's the Maxi. And, I took the Maxi challenge. I took the Maxi challenge because the opponent would be fusion summoning, and I think this is gonna be a Kit Kalos. Yeah, it's gonna be a Kit Kalos. Sadly, I don't have any hand trap. Most of the cards I have in my hand are for making combos. So there's another fusion. Who is this? It's Rukalos. Alright. So I wasn't reading much into their effects, but I know that they have the ability to function and fusion summon in the graveyard. And what did I do? I think, yeah, I activated Scrap Storm. I think this card, I chose to use Relinquished Anima because Rukalos has an effect when it gets sent to the graveyard. Yeah, it fusion summons again, I think. And so, I could have Kaiju'd it, but I'm not sure if Kaijuing a Tierlament would be interpreted as a card effect. So I didn't risk it. I went for an Anima. Scrap Searcher was free anyway. So as you can see, we have 3 golems. We can do a lot of things. But then I did not anticipate this card. I didn't think they have something like that. That's Haveness. So it's a quick effect. It special summons and it allows them to mill. And by allowing themselves to mill, they get a lot of cards into the graveyard and their combo goes on. And they got lucky. They were able to throw a lot of their Ishizu cards into the graveyard. So that's very sad for us, as you'll see in a while. So I'm not, at first I wasn't too worried about sending, about those monsters fusion summoning when they get to the graveyard, because I have Scrap Twin Dragon. Instead of sending opponent cards to the graveyard, I can just return them to the extra deck or the hand. But then, yeah, there's the Shizu cards like Mudora. So they got rid of my Raptor, and that's sad, but it's okay because I used my VERNUSYLPH to return Raptor. But then there's another Ishizu card that just, yeah, this is just sad. This is just sad. Yeah, it's just so sad. And there we go, we're attacking, but our attack power is sadly not enough because they were able to set some monsters on defense. And now we're just gonna see Tierlament enjoy itself. We don't have any negates. We couldn't summon Appaloosa. Why? Because it requires 2 plus different 2 plus monsters with different names. And so, yeah, it's gonna be a Tierlament combo. There's nothing much we can do. So they're destroying our monsters one by one. And there's nothing much we can do but watch. So yeah, this is going to end in a loss. But yeah, it's that Maxi challenge, and I wasn't expecting Haveness, right? I didn't expect a Haveness having that kind of effect. So I should watch out for that. And maybe I should have looked for a way to summon Appaloosa early into the field. But with the current state of my scrap deck, it's kind of difficult to do so. Once I bring out Appaloosa, it limits me immediately. For example, we cannot take advantage of Scrap Searcher's Resurrection since it will destroy Appaloosa. But anyway, moving on, this is going to be another battle against, I'm not sure if this is the, because I have replays about against Synchrons, against what was that, Axel Synchrons, against Despia, against a Magician Lock. That was an interesting game. So in this set of replays, you'll also get to see the various strategies that we scrap players can utilize to work to destroy and defeat our opponents. So okay, this is a Mathmech deck. So I knew that for Mathmechs, they are fond of that trap card called Super Factorial. And good thing for me, I have Lightning Storm in my hand, and so I could let them trigger that Super Factorial early before I put any monsters on my field. And so at first I'm not sure what this Mathmech player was doing, what they're trying to achieve. I'm pretty sure they could have done a lot. So I'm not sure why they're going for this Masquerena, for this Wicked. I wasn't really sure at first. And then they have this Mathmech Diameter, Linkuribo. And they set, I suspected that was Super Factorial and I was correct. So as you'll see, I will activate my Lightning Storm. There we go. And we forced the Super Factorial. I don't know. And they activated Masquerena. I wasn't sure what this was going to be. I thought it was Avramax. But then it was Appaloosa. And Appaloosa used against Scrap Deck is very bad because we rely on a lot of monster effects to get our combos going. And so good thing we have 2 copies of Fossil Dig. We were able to bait a negate and still get our Raptor. So this is also great that Appaloosa negated the effect of Raptor and also negated the effect of Orthos. That way we can now attack into Appaloosa and we can link summon and destroy that, what do you call this? Destroy Laplacian. So I'm not so sure what we are going to do at this point. So also, I realized maybe I should have 2 scrap Orthoses in my deck for example, for situations like this where I really need a destruction effect, right, to take advantage of the factory. But since I don't have an extra copy of Orthos and it's already in the graveyard, I can't do that, and I chose not to reveal the factory just yet. And I instead opted for an Appaloosa to negate and prevent the enemy from making any plays. And so that's 2 negates, and we have a third one. I'm not really sure what the opponent has in mind, but yeah, my Appaloosa gets exhausted and our opponent has nothing. So I think this is the part where we win. We have the factory, we have Raptor. This is gonna be classic scrap combo. We bring out Wyvern and destroy this Splash Mage. Oh, sorry. Oh no, that's bad. Anyway, that's fine. We can still make use of that extra normal summon by tributing, and then we recover our Orthos, and then we link summon so that we can return one of these cards back into our hand. I think it's going to be a yeah, it's gonna be a Raptor, just so that we can, in case something happens, we have a card that can start our combos for the next round, but doesn't look necessary anymore since, yeah, we can just attack for game and that's it. Alright, so proceeding on to the next game. I'm not sure where or when the Magician lock is going to be. So we're done with the 4th one, that was Eldlich. Let's see what this 3rd one is. I think this is the Magician. This is a Magician lock. So a Magician lock, they have this monster that is unaffected by other cards' effects, and that same Magician monster prevents the destruction of spells and traps, of Magician spells and traps. So yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. And you will have to watch this go through for a while. I think it's just gonna be a bit quick. So yeah, Magician decks can be really scary if you don't know how to deal with them. So instead of kind of directly confronting and trying to destroy the board, scraps have a way of trying to, because we have a way of winning without having to destroy this board. So let me just pause this a bit. So as you can see, this card makes spells and traps with cannot be targeted by card effects, so we can return them to the hand with Scrap Twin, and they cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects, so even Wyvern cannot destroy them with its non-targeting effect. On the other hand, okay, so let's play. This card, that set back row, that's the card that prevents magician monsters from being destroyed. Or yeah, every dark magician your monsters was unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Yeah, it's that card. Yeah. So what the opponent did, I think, was he tried to banish my raptor, but then I activated Scrap Storm so that my raptor doesn't get banished. And so this is a cool trick. You can normal summon Shark, activate Factory, destroy it, and you can trigger the Factory's effect. And so this is looking like a regular scrap combo, but what's good with this is we have 3 VERNUSYLPH monsters in our hands, and what I'm actually gonna try to do, what I actually did already, was send a Searcher and Goblin into the graveyard. So this is going to be the Goblin attack, the Goblin sacrifice strategy. So in this strategy, we're going to special summon Goblin on the opponent's side of the field. Since it cannot be destroyed by battle, we can keep on attacking it with our Scrap monster. So this is a huge sacrifice for Scrap Goblin, but it allows us to sort of poke a hole into the enemy's armor and defeat them, right? So we didn't necessarily break the opponent's board, but we worked around it. So that's amazing. Let's go to the 5th replay. So this 5th replay, I'm not sure, is this the Synchron or is this the other one, right? Let's see. Or is this Despia? There's Despia, there's Synchron, and there's the other one. I forgot what the other one was, but we'll see. So we have 2 VERNUSYLPHs once again. We can add Orthos, we can add Raptor. Here we go. So we did not get negated, and I chose to okay, so I chose to recall this, not use up my normal summon first, alright? And then we were able to send Searcher using the effect of its discard, the Awakening Forests, and we're able to trigger effects. So this is when I got Orthos, so it's useful. We can destroy our Searcher, we can trigger the Factory's effect, bring out a Golem, and then go for a Raptor. So it's gonna be a bit of the usual scrap combo. Let's see what kind of field we can set up. I think we can make a Naturia Beast and Appaloosa, at least those 2. So we destroyed our factory and we special summoned for a beast. Yeah, we can make an Appaloosa and a Naturia Beast. So sadly, we cannot go for a level 9 Synchro. It could be Shen, it could be Wolf Riot, but at least we have Scrap Golem to start the next turn in case we need. So oh no. Okay, so this is a, what we call this? This is a Pendulum deck, and Pendulum decks hate Naturia Beast. So yeah, this is the part where you see Naturia Beast being a beast, carrying the entire game by itself. And there we go, the opponent quits. Because Pendulum cards are spell cards if you use them on the scales. Alright. So what's this next one? I think this is Synchron, or is this Despia? I'm not sure if this is Synchron or Despia. Now it's just either of the 2. What's annoying with Synchrons is they have those Omni Negate dragons. What's annoying with Despia is, yeah, they have the same thing. They can banish and they can negate, and they have those nasty burn fusions. So let's see, who is this opponent? We have a VERNUSYLPH. That's great, but we're going second, so this is gonna be tough. Alright, so this is Synchron, And what's difficult is if a Synchron has a really good hand, they can set a very nasty board with a lot of Omni Negates, right? Up to 5 or 6 Omni Negates sometimes, depending on how good their hand is. But for this case, we're gonna have to see what kind of board. I don't remember. I don't really remember. So we have a Stardust. Um, they have more special summoning available. We have no interruptions, but we do have a Kaiju, right? We have a Kaiju. I always make sure I have Kaiju in this version of the deck. I'm actually thinking of adding an Earth Kaiju so that I can send the Earth Kaiju into the graveyard using this card. And if I have the VERNUSYLPH Rabbit in my hand, I could add a Kaiju into my hand and take out an annoying enemy monster, right? So let's just wait for a bit. So we've got a Baron, and we've got this majestic dragon that just negates. It banishes itself, and then it negates and banishes. So we got rid of that since it had a DPE like effect, like it can keep on reappearing on the field. So we baited Baron's effect, and we saved our Raptor from losing its activation by using a Scrap Storm. And then we call this, so this is, yeah, we use the VERNUSYLPH to recover, and then we can run our combos. So this point the opponent must be, you know, pretty much pissed because they were unable to stop us. And if you are unable to stop a scrap deck from going crazy, then it's gonna be bad for you, because back in the day, I think back in the day, scraps are really made for going second, and the reason for that is, you'll see in a while, we actually have a lot of monsters that can clear the opponent's field either by destruction or by returning cards into the hand. So my favorite, Scrap Twin Dragon, has the ability to return cards to the hand, and we got our Kaiju back. Right? That's a really great strategy. If your opponent has a lot of monsters and you want to get your Kaiju back into your hand, target it with Scrap Twin Dragon, and you can out another troublesome monster in your opponent's field. So this is the last replay. So this is Despia, and yeah, many of these decks that I've shown today in this video they're not really, I'm not sure if they're top tier. I think they're top tier. I'm not sure if they're the meta. The meta these days are control decks and, you know, the Tierlaments. So I'm not sure, but those decks that we've played, that we've shown, they're actually really good decks. You know, really troublesome once they get what they want on their boards, on their turns. So this is a really good hand. We have two ways of protecting ourselves against anything that the opponent has, but good thing they don't have anything to stop us, and so we just keep on going and we set up our board. So we have, we're actually going to sacrifice one of these cards, I think. And I think I chose Cross Out Designator. Yeah, I think I chose Cross Out Designator. Then, yeah, we're just gonna go for, I think, a Naturia Beast and an Appaloosa. Yeah, Naturia Beast and Appaloosa. It's really sad when I can't get that extra monster I need in order to get that level 9 Synchro, which is either Wolfrayet or Shen. I actually still also trying to figure out how I can bring out Abyss Dweller, right? Because Abyss Dweller, I think, is gonna be essential for trying to counter the Tierlaments. So we now know that our opponent is a Despia. We negated the effect. They stole our Appaloosa in order to bring out a Verte, and they're just clearing our field with a Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. I think this is a nasty card, but it doesn't have Yeah, it doesn't have a quick effect, so we're not really too worried about it. And this is the importance of having multiple copies of cards you need in your deck, because we're able to get them as often. So what's unfortunate is our opponent has the same set card we have, that's just called by the grave. And at this point, it would have been over for us, right? It would have been over if the opponent also had the right cards, but unfortunately, they did not have that. And so we survived for another turn, and because of increasing the probability of drawing the cards we need by having many copies of them in our deck, we're able to get another Raptor. We're able to start our combo once again, and we get the assistance from Searcher by being in the graveyard, and that's it. I think after some point, the opponent's just going to quit, or are we going to destroy the opponent? Not so sure. So we get a Wyvern. We're gonna destroy the, I think the set card. Yeah, because we can't destroy Starving Fusion Dragon, because if you destroy it, it will destroy all of our special summoned monsters, which at this point, it's gonna be our entire board. So what I'm going to do is use I was about to use relinquished anima, but don't make the same mistake as I did before, because you can't summon anima over here. So it's good that you have the Silent Honor Arc Knight in your extra deck for situations like this where you don't want to destroy or eliminate an opponent's monster. You know, you just lock it as an exceeds material. Alright, so now that I've shown you the replay, I'm going to show you the deck list. So, come on. It's called Scrap Vern. There we go. So for this deck, we have sorry. Yeah, we have several copies of the yeah, we have several copies of the VERNUSYLPHs. We have the Thawing Mountains, Seedlings, the Flowering Fields. I think it's about 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have 9 copies of VERNUSYLPHs in our main deck. And we have 2 Kaijus. I thought I had 3. Anyway, and then we have no trap cards, so we're not really that prone to Time Thief Redoer anymore, since it's the trap card that gives the nasty effect. And so for protection, we have 2 Called by the Graves. We have a Crossout Designator, 3 Factories, 3 Scrap Storms. So these Scrap Yards and Fossil Digs are like additional copies of Scrap Raptor or like Scrap Orthos. And yeah, 1 copy each again of Ash and Maxi. They're not really there for disruption, but more of like for the Crossout Designator in order to protect us from those kinds of cards. But we can use them if they are in our hand, which is good. What else? What else is noteworthy? I guess there's nothing else. For the extra deck, yeah, so we now have Naturia Beast. We have Appaloosa, the 2 level 9 Synchros that we could use. Wolf Riot or Shen Shen. We have Abyss Dweller. I'm not sure why I have Dugaris here. Maybe just to try and extend play if possible. We have Relinquished Anima, who is very useful from time to time. And of course, if you're going second, you really cannot go on Scrap deck without these 3. 2 copies of Scrap Twin and a Scrap Dragon. So if you combine Wyvern, a Dragon, and 2 Scrap Twin Dragons, you can actually eliminate up to 6 monsters in total. And what's this? You might be wondering. It's a 5-headed Link Dragon. So just in case, you know, you need that super boss monster that's unaffected and has high attack power, yeah, you can link summon for 5-headed link dragon. But that's it. That's it for this um, video, and thank you all for watching.